All right, welcome to the first State of the League address of Season 8. I have Fiction joining me here on the stream. How you doing today, Fiction?
Hi. Doing well. Thanks for the thing.
All right, let me get the game in front of me. All right, so we are going to be looking at... I'm going to turn the music back off. The music was just for the countdown. All right. Lower in-game volume. That was just the music. Shouldn't be a bother anymore. Alright, so let's have a look at the league. So what we're going to be doing today primarily is we're going to be looking at all the different divisions, which that alone will take us a while. So don't feel slighted if we only spend a minute or so talking about your team, because we have 70 teams to get through, which is quite a larger number than last season. I think last season we were somewhere in the 40s. But Legendary Editions brought a lot of new people to the game. So let's start with the European groups, I think, Fiction, considering it's pretty late for them. So hopefully they can catch it before they head to bed. Or if they're night owls like me, maybe they'll see the whole thing. But yeah, so let's jump into Group A here. Some of the teams, we're not going to focus on results too much, but most of the divisions actually have played a lot of their matches already. I wasn't expecting to have much like game review to be doing, but a lot of people jumped right on playing their matches this week. So we'll just go in the order that I'm seeing it on my page. Are you seeing Kabusta's Lizards as the top left on your screen? Okay. All right, so we'll just go straight across. There's 10 teams in each division. So let's have a look at, well, let's look at the division in general first. This is Europe Group A. Looks like we've got 1 lizard, 2 humans, goblin, orc, 2 dark elves, elven union, and Nurgle. So I would say a fairly balanced league in general. You got a little bit of bash, a little bit of silly with the goblins, a lot of agility. So I would say pretty balanced division, that one. Looking at the lizards, they've played a game. Standard lizard build, 2 rerolls, all the sources and croxes you can get.
Standard source injury first game. That's nice.
Yeah. Nice for whoever plays him next week. Looks like he got a draw in his first game. 2-2 against some pro elves, looks like. 2-2 game. Only development so far is on a skink. Must be who scored twice, and he took catch on him. A reasonably good first skill, I guess. I normally probably would... I don't know, there's a lot of different ways to build skinks, really. That becomes your handoff target there. He did get enough money to buy his Apo after the first game, though, so that's nice for him. Alright, next team, some humans. Kristoff, level 1 coach, probably just a new account, though, I imagine. Looks like he might have had some death in the first game. Probably lost a blitzer. Going with a double thrower build and only 2 rerolls. That is not the build I typically see out of humans. Normally you're 3 rerolls, 1 thrower. But humans can theoretically get away with less rerolls. They've got good starting skills. Looks like he lost his first game to the goblins. And he got a dead MVP in that game. That's
bad luck, Brian.
That is a rough first game for Kristoff. But good to see goblins representing well. Then we have Crow Dog. Crow Dog is I'm not sure if he's adminning this year. He's usually one of our admins, or he has been in the past. Good coach. Went with the 1 Pestigore Beast build, which I feel like is pretty standard. There's a lot of different ways to start Nurgle. Just feel free to interject if you've got something you want to say about any of the teams.
Nurgle's interesting. Lots of strength, low rerolls.
Yeah, I've seen so many different Nurgle builds. I've seen 3 Pestigore, no Beasts. I've seen Beast and 3 Warriors and 3 rerolls. I've seen all sorts of stuff with Nurgle. So, but this I would say this is probably the most common build, to go with 2 rerolls and have yourself 1 ball carrier Pestigore.
I'd agree. I don't know why you wouldn't want the Beast of Nurgle on an Nurgle team.
I have a viewer, I believe it's Shattered, who is adamant that you do not start with a beast, and I think he's a crazy person. All right, and then we have Hanachi, who won 4-0 earlier today, I believe, or maybe yesterday.
That's a lot of SVP.
That is a lot of SPP. Let's see if we got anything good with it. He's got a Mighty
He
Blow
did.
Blitzer, and that's about it. Must have spread the touchdowns out a fair bit. 4 reroll Amazon team. I don't feel like that's probably standard. I mean, one of
Rerolls. No thrower. Just, not crazy.
yeah, it's nothing crazy, but I don't feel like you need 4 rerolls on an Amazon team. I probably would have axed that last reroll there.
TV's still pretty low.
Well, that's the thing. They're so TV efficient, but that
Yeah.
reroll is the same as another linewoman on the bench
True.
for when you get beat up. So I don't know.
I guess it's weighing risk aversion versus if you get out a lot and need a sub.
Yeah, or you run into dwarves. But there are no dwarves in this division,
Yeah.
so this is a good division for Amazons.
Good reason to reroll, I guess.
And then the Dark Elf team that he took to the woodshed a little bit. Oof.
This is usually my luck when I play Dark Elves, is just get hammered the first game, then give up.
Yeah. Then give up. But Sulufen is a pretty experienced Dark Elf coach, I'm sure. I mean, he's also the kind of guy who doesn't tend to fire his players. He may very well keep that Agi 3 blitzer and find things to do with him. He is the gentleman who last season we kept highlighting. I think he had a Nerves of Steel runner. Or blitzer. No, it wasn't a runner, it was a blitzer. So he took a doubles roll on a blitzer and took Nerves of Steel on him.
I guess he doesn't need Agi 4 if you just turn him into a blodge step diving tackle.
Yeah. He'll probably, but like I said, he's played Dark Elves quite a bit. He finished near the top, if not the top of his division last year in, I think it was in Emperors. So he was top. I think he went to the playoffs. He was top 2 or so. So he'll figure out how to recover from that rough first game.
Very good.
Umbrella Hat, I'm not familiar with. Human Coach, level 12 account. That's a standard human build. It doesn't look either he had the
No
worst
capture.
game ever, or it doesn't look like he's played his game. He has not played his game this week. Yeah, not much to
He
say
had
there.
the same thing happen to him that happened to me. I got 40 can winnings and can't afford an Apple.
Yeah, no, he has not played his first game yet. And let's look at the winning goblins. I believe most, if not all, the goblins have played their first game, and I believe this is the only one that won. I had a really fun game, but I lost.
I caught part of that.
Let's see. So he did take a pogoer. It's already 15-man goblins. I don't know why you would want to already be over 1,000 TV. He's pretty much guaranteed he's not getting a bribe for his second game. Does he play
Especially
next?
in a league like this where everybody's starting fresh.
Yeah, he's playing the Black... He's definitely not, because he's playing Black Art Corsairs, who are the beat-up Dark Elf team. Oh, son of a... misclick. So, yeah. But, Martin, he played Lizards last year, I believe. Did kind of so-so, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I would not have already bought a 15th Goblin and an Apo. He's got nobody worth Apoing on the whole team, so I don't know. Doesn't want to use bribes, just lots of boots on the ground, I guess.
I'll defer to your goblin wisdom.
Yeah, I don't know about that stuff. This guy's no longer in the league, so we're not gonna mess with looking at his team. So the next team to look at is the Orc team. This is Wolfskin. Wolfskin's been in the league for a few years now, streams occasionally. Good coach. Pretty standard Orc build. Looks like he hasn't played his first game
shade
yet.
over here.
Yeah, no throwers. let the argument begin. The eternal debate over the Orc thrower. I prefer not to have an Orc thrower, so I'm on board with this.
True meme.
True meme.
I kind of flip flop. I don't know.
Next, we have
We'll play Orcs enough.
Dark Elves. I do not play Orcs a ton, but I do play them occasionally, and I never go with the the thrower. Another Dark Elf team. This is a pretty standard Dark Elf build. This one hasn't gotten ravaged by goblins yet, or actually no, he was beat up by Amazons. So this might be the guy that joined late, maybe? But I'm not sure which team is the... Is this the replacement? Who's the replacement? No, this guy, I believe... No, because he's played a game. So I think that Dark Elf team may be the replacement. I'm not sure. It's Masu. Oh, it is. Oh, so the replacement has already played his game, in fact, or he got an admin draw. One of the two. So it says he's got a draw already. I'm super confused by that. No. Okay. Anyways, this is my preferred Skaven build, 100%. You get an Apo starting game 1, you've got all 4 gutter runners, no Rat Ogre to do stupid shit.
More reliable early stuff. You still got 3 rules, that's good.
Yeah. Oh, I
like
see.
it.
Okay, Sarah, well that makes sense. He gets the old guy's record, which was a draw. The old guy who quit didn't even get a loss.
Ah, interesting.
Alright, that was Group A. Looking at the leaderboard so far, the games have been played early. Amazons and Goblins at the top of the table. And then... That's weird. That's a bugginess with the leaderboard. It's showing a draw below a loss, but I'm sure that'll straighten itself out after another game's played. Alright. Dark Elves at the bottom.
It's making fun of them for playing Skaven, I suppose.
Dodge OP. This is true, Cerebral. Alright, let's move on to Group B. We're going to be moving through these pretty fast because, as I said, we've got 70 teams to get through.
10 down, 60 to go.
10 down. So, looking at Group B, we've got Undead. 940, so they probably lost a ghoul or something. Let's see what happened. Yep, down a ghoul. AV busted. That ghoul's probably fired. Should be at the very least.
No reason to keep a halfling armored ghoul on the team, I don't think.
Yeah, especially... Yeah, I mean,
No
he's gonna be
regen.
gone for a game anyways. You're easily gonna have enough money to replace him. Well, most likely, depending on your winning rolls next game. But you'll be able to replace him pretty quickly. He'll have a loner zombie for a game.
I think a 1 is 30k for winnings? Or is it 40?
I think it depends on your current fan factor, maybe. Or the fans of the game or something.
One of those things you see all the time and ignore.
One of those things that unless you play tabletop, you don't actually dig into the underworkings of it. Yeah, so down a ghoul. Pretty standard, very standard undead build though. 3 rerolls out of the gate. Undead are so good at 1000 TV. You just get everything you need out of the gate. Hey, Bork, how's it going?
I've imagined undead starting with, and necromantic. If the ghouls were Agi 4, just how busted they'd be.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing they don't have is that easy access to Agi 4. Alright, looking at the Chaos Dwarves, everybody's favorite team. Manus Atra, playing some Chaos Dwarves, standard Chaos Dwarf build. Has played his first game, got a draw. Maybe he played the Undead. He did. He was the team that played the Undead and whooped on that ghoul. So that was a bad first matchup, honestly, for the Undead a little bit, having that much tackle against your ghouls.
Right.
So, yeah. Let's see. Who got his touchdowns? Let's see if he's a bull ball carrying kind of fella. Ah! He's got a touchdown on the bull.
That was my next question, if he was going to turn them into carriers or blockers.
Well, you certainly carry with them early, if for no other reason, just to get some skills on him. But yeah, it looks like at least that game, his 1 touchdown was on a bull. So I am an advocate of the bull ball carrier. I know I'm a little in the minority there. All right, looking at Amazons. This team is 1-0-0. Anchor is the coach. He's got a... Let's see if that's just an MMG or if it's a niggle. That is just an MMG.
I'm sure he clinched a little hard on that one.
Oh, yeah. He actually got hit with that. Who did he... Let's see who he played. Professional Elves. So he played Elven Union, so no tackle to worry about there.
Random on the
He does have block on a line woman, so He's already got a blotcher for the next game to replace the one he's losing. Did go with a thrower. I don't know how I feel about bothering to take catchers and throwers on Amazons, honestly.
As counterintuitive as it sounds, a thrower is just better if they start with sure hands rather than pads.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sure.
Thrower.
Yeah, I don't like throwers that don't start with sure hands. So, of course, that brings us back to our orc thrower debate. I still don't like orc throwers. They're too fucking slow to be ball carriers. But I digress. Catchers are awesome. Just because they have agility access. Why are catchers awesome? They're not any faster, they're not any more agile, they're just more expensive and have a skill that you shouldn't need to use all that often. Yeah, it gives options, but like I don't know, if I played Amazons, I would focus pretty heavily on the TV efficiency of the team. I mean,
they've already got dodge from the agility access, and that's the one
it's the one you really need. Alright, looking at Mad Frog's orcs, he does have an orc thrower. But, again, pretty standard orc setup. Has not played his first game yet. Nothing too interesting there.
I feel like he may have missed an opportunity to make the orcs' uniforms purple, with number 2 being a people eater.
Fair enough. Mad Max Fury Club is the name of that team. Oh, I should be focusing on the names of the teams more, rather than just the coach name. Acro is been in the league at least a year or two now. But, let's see. So far he's got a movement-busted goblin. Probably just fire him. Goblins are so cheap to replace. He got a loss in his first game against
I really
Lizards.
like this naming scheme. It's all salt puns.
High sodium. Oh, nice. As a chemist, I fully respect this. Actually using. Very nice. But yeah, let's see. He went. This is my standard goblin build. Just take a fanatic and a loony, 2 trolls and a bunch of goblins, so you got 14 players. Let's see if he's got that many. Oh no, he's got 4 rerolls, so it's not the same build. I go with a 3 reroll goblin build, which we'll see later when we get to my team. But yeah, he did pick up the loss in that game against the Lizards. They're a tough matchup for really anybody, but particularly for goblins. All right, the coach. This is Grumpy on Twitch. When elves come around, playing dark elves this season. Went with a runner build. You hope to get 2 touchdowns on that runner first game and get a leader on him for your 3rd reroll. Usually when you go with this build.
Interesting.
Doesn't look like he's played it yet. Yeah, this is actually when I do play dark elves, which isn't a whole lot. This is usually the build I go with, and I try and get leader on that runner ASAP to give me my 3rd reroll.
Wasn't even aware that was a strategy.
Yep. That is why you take the. That's really the only thing the runner has going for him is that pass access for early leader. And then you can have a team that's essentially 10-20 TV, or yeah, 10-20 TV and has a full elf roster and 3 rerolls. Alright. Fake Dragons, this is the team that beat up on the poor goblins. Shrimp. Strength up skink! Very nice. That's a good first level. Call the Apo. Yeah, that is the one player, the one skink that the Apo will be used on.
I'm excited for him to only roll doubles and just get all the killer skills.
Oh yeah, get block, all that kind of stuff. That is if you're gonna get some bloat on your skinks, that's the kind of bloat you want. Yeah, I mean if you roll double, you might even be tempted to take Wrestle on and make him just a cage diving monster, but then he'll get fouled into goo. So I don't know. But he bought an Apo after his first game after he rolled that level up.
That's what I.
Yeah, yeah. So far, that might be a favorite in the group. Looks like in general, I would say this is a bashier division. You've got Lizards, Nurgle, Undead, Chaos Dwarves. Even Amazons get bashy as they start to develop. Alright. Seo's team. Seo playing Nurgle this season. having to play against all the Clawinus Chaos team last season was not bad enough. He's decided to just do it again with Nurgle this time. Same build we saw on the other Nurgle team. The 1 pass to gore, 2 reroll build. Pretty standard. Hasn't played his first game yet. Who's he playing this week? I guess I can't look at that from the screen. So, let's see.
There's a little Easter egg with Nurgle. There's like 2 joke names, I think. The Rotters. He's got one of them.
Oh, is there?
Ryan the Belated Water Boy. And then there's another one, like the Sickly #1 Fan.
Ryan the Belated Water Boy. Ah. So he is playing... He's playing Orcs this week. Were you the one that said that earlier, so? Yeah, it's going to be tough. Yeah, you got to play Mad Frogs, Orcs. Alright, some Pro Elves that appear to have gotten the piss kicked out of them. Bleeding Hippie.
Ow.
A very good coach. Oof, yeah. Dead lineman looks like, or fired, one of the two. Let's see, is this just an MNG?
Yeah, this must be MNG, yeah.
Yeah, MNG Blitzer, probably an MNG lineman.
Yes.
Did go, this is how I usually go. With the tiny bit I've played Pro Elves, I usually do go the 2 rerolls and an Apo out of the gate. You can easily go 3 rerolls and no Apo just as easily, but the positionals are so expensive on Pro Elves that I really wouldn't want to play them without an Apo right out of the gate. Who did he get beat up by? The Amazons, that's right. So they actually traded blows because those Amazons had a couple dings as well.
Bunch of fun haters out there. I mean, people who love to play Amazons. They're a legitimate race.
Alright, last team we've got Thur playing Dark Elves. Oh! Double assassin build. I like it. I mean, I don't like it, but I enjoy the enthusiasm.
Many lols to be had.
Yeah, and in this division, who's he gonna stay? Oh, Amazons, I guess. Amazons, Goblins.
Amazons, Pro
Elves. He's got some targets. Hobgoblins.
Not bad.
Ghouls. Yeah, as far as it goes, this isn't too bad. Yeah, I mean, even Nurgle, you can stab some Rotters and whatnot. So, I don't know. This division, Assassin might be able to do some work. 2 of them might be a bit overkill, but we'll see what he can do with it.
It's that way when the other dies, the other ends up making it to legendary.
Yeah, you probably...
like hedge your bet.
If I'm doing this build, I'm trying to force some touchdowns on those assassins, though, and turn them into actual players. If you're gonna actually do it, get them some dodge. Hopefully, yeah, roll doubles.
Get blodge.
Yeah, get them blodge. Let's see. Yeah, Ceremal says chasing multi-block. Yeah, you hope one of them rolls doubles. You give him multi-block, you probably fire the other one. I don't know, unless he turns into a good player. But that's interesting, so that's exciting. Oh wait, he just finished his game because he suddenly has a level up icon. Oh my, that is a lot of SPP. What happened here? 4-1. Shit.
Oh.
He won. He won 4-1. Wow.
2 blitzers leveled up.
2 blitz. That's a good. So we're gonna come back to him in a minute and see what he does with his level up. So.
10 injuries. Wow. Okay. All right.
So he hasn't rolled those yet. So we'll come back. Good timing there, Thur. We finished your game right when we were looking at your team. All right. So let's go on to the next division. We'll come back and see what he rolls for his level ups. So that was Group B.
Dark Elf team.
So we were laughing at the double assassin build, and then he whooped some poor Dark Elf while we were laughing at his double assassins. Yes. So, all right. Looking at Group C. Looking at the division as a whole, somebody had to play Dwarves. General Marauder. We've got Chaos, Chaos Dwarf, Undead, Ogre, Amazon. Again, pretty balanced. Let's have a look. Starting with the High Elves.
There's a lot of reasons to play Dwarf in this particular league,
oh, yeah.
But
well, Legendary Edition sort of... It's kind of sad because I was seeing less and less Dwarves in the Champ Ladders, and then with the release of Legendary Edition, more people have gone back to playing Dwarves.
Hunting for halflings.
Yeah, hunting for halflings. Alright, so looking at...
Team for that.
High Elf got Good first. Got a level up on his catcher right away. That's nice. So he's got dodge on him. It's a 2 catchers, 2 blitzers, 2 rerolls. Has an Apo. A little bit of money in the bank. He's off to a pretty good start, and he got a win. Played against the Dwarves. Beat the Dwarves 2-0. So yes, Underworld is coming up shortly. So looking at the Dwarves lost their first game, but their TV's up, so they clearly didn't lose any players. He's got
all that technical buff versus no dodge elves.
yeah, that's a lot of kind of wasted TV almost against high elves that don't have any dodge yet. So he's got guard, and that's pretty much it. And he bought an Apo, so that's where the extra TV is coming from. He managed to get an Apo after his first game. Only 1 Troll Slayer. Is that... You can normally afford both Troll Slayers, yes? I don't play Dwarves at all, so as far as starting builds, I'm not 100% sure.
With the Apo?
Maybe?
Got no more.
No, he couldn't have started with the Apo because his team value wouldn't be that high. I mean, he's only picking up 20 from the guard, and he didn't get any fan factor. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, usually I don't know. I think you can afford 2 Troll Slayers and also 2 runners. Yeah, so what did he do? He just bought more Longbeards instead, I guess. Troll Slayer's only 20k more than a Longbeard. I mean, Dwarves do have expensive line fodder. 70k for a lineman, so. Alright, looking next, we've got Amazons, who have played their first game, got a draw. He had, he's got Blodge Catcher, that's nice. So he's up to 5 Blodge now. Double thrower build. Probably a dead line woman, I'm guessing, and then an injured line woman. Played against Dark Elves, it looks like. Alright.
Managed a 2-2.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Alright, next we have Ogres. How many, do we only have the 1 Ogre team, or do we have a couple? I think we might have 2 Ogre teams in the league this season. Oh, that's a terrible start. Down 2 Ogres for next game. Oh, and 1, that's probably just a gap. He probably didn't have 1 die. That's probably just a gap. Maybe a dead snotling, which no one really cares about.
He
So
won, but it was against goblins who
he beat the goblin team.
managed to probably chainsaw the guy. I don't know. A couple injuries.
Yeah, the goblins did some work on him as they went down. That's kind of how my game with Dark Elves went with my goblins. We didn't win. We didn't have statistically a good game at all, but we did kill a Dark Elf blitzer and we injured another one. So he's gonna have a rough next game. This is the build when I've done ogres that I like to do is 5 ogres, 2 rerolls. But yeah, he's gonna have a lot of inducement money next game. Hopefully get himself some star players. All right, so we got the first Underworld team, who I believe did not have a particularly fun first game. They did get a loss, 2-1. They played against the Chaos Dwarves. That's a rough first matchup for Underworld with all those little goblins. Kitchen is an excellent goblin coach. Was almost #1 in the world with goblins while back. Oh wow! I will assume he knows what he's doing then. So let's see. Only went with the 1 Skaven Thrower to start and 4 rerolls. I think you can get both Skaven Throwers if you're willing to do 3 rerolls, which is the build I would primarily want to do. Because, in general, I don't like the idea of having 2 Throwers on the same team, but you're getting a Skaven Thrower instead of another Goblin. So,
right.
He is missing a Goblin for the next game.
Plus, you can make one a ball mover and the other one just leader.
Yeah. And I'm guessing... doesn't say he had a death, but I think he had a minus agility. I remember looking at the match report for this game. I'm pretty sure he had a minus agility goblin that must have got fired. Yeah, I think he had a 13th player. I'm pretty sure he had an agi busted goblin that got fired or something. All right. Next we have Undead. who lost a game. Androx. Ooh, he's missing a mummy for a game. That sucks. Does have a 12th man.
Lost to Chaos.
Yep. Golden
That looks
Bee
like an
Company.
upset.
Yeah, I would say Chaos, TV1000 Chaos beating TV1000 Undead. Pretty good result for the Chaos. Standard build, 2 goals. Bought an extra zombie after the game. Alright, Chaos Dwarves. Jay Sentinel is the coach. Again, standard Chaos Dwarf build. Picked up the Apo after his first game, probably. And he beat level 1 coach. Must be a new account, I'm assuming. Beat the Underworld team. Well, let's look at Itchin Masak's Goblin team. Goblin Gash. Oh god, I hate that fucking uniform option so much. It looks like a tablecloth. Alright, so he does like to go with a Pogoer. I do not like to start with the Pogoer. I don't like to roster the Pogoer at all on mine. But he did pick the two good secret weapons. One of my viewers, Shattered, always argues with me about how good the bomber is. I do not like to run a bomber on my team. I'll take the star bomber when I can get him because he's cheap, but Androx says couldn't pick up the cut ball for 3 turns.
So much, but only because I play Kislev and he just gives me free interception SPP.
Yes. Yeah, fair enough. He's missing 2 goblins for his next game. Did do some work though. Troll got probably 2 of those injuries. Let's see, he'll have no loners. Yes, no, he'll have 1 loner. No, he won't. He's got 13. Yeah, he'll have no loners, but he'll only have an 11-man roster for his next game. But plenty of money to induce bribes and whatnot. Yes, this is true, Bork. If you never take the bomber, you can never have Hail Mary pass on a bomber. That is true. Sulfur. Next we have Dark Elves, Soulforged, Cthulhu Dreamers. He did... Wait, that's not Leader, that's Nerves of Steel. I was gonna say, he did the build I was talking about earlier, where you force SPP on your runner to get Leader right away, but he didn't take Leader, he took Nerves of Steel, so he ruined my entire idea. But
looks like he also did not realize.
It also looks like what? Here, I'm gonna see if I can you guys hear?
I'm just a quiet person.
Okay.
In general.
I'm going to turn you up on Discord if I can. Oh, come on. There we go. Boom. Now I should be able to hear you a little better.
Yay.
There you go. Hey JD Thur, how's it going? On the other hand, I guess I am one of the weak teams in the group. So yeah, so you will be right now because you're playing Nurgle. Nurgle are gonna suck for a while. They take about 20 games to get good. Hey Grumpy, you missed. We already did your team. All right. So looking at Chaos, he's got unrolled level ups, which makes my skin crawl. Does look like he lost a man though. One of his beastmen has a leveled up beastman. Would be interesting to know what that level up was, but we don't get to. He won his first game.
Speaking of unrolled level ups.
Do you have a level up to roll?
Well, no. Back in Group B.
Back in Group B. Now that we finished C, we said we were going to come.
Has chosen his skills.
Alright, let's see what Thur rolled.
Nothing interesting.
Nothing interesting? Blodge. Took Blodge on both of his... He did get 4 SPP on that one assassin, though. So I'll be interested to keep an eye on how that team does with the double assassin build. Alright, we've got one more group to finish out Europe.
I can't remember. Do you get SPP for a stab?
You do not.
I didn't think so.
You do not get SPP for a stab, so you have to, you know, get them touchdowns or passes or whatnot. Oh, there's another Underworld team. So we do have several Underworld teams. And we do have another... Oh, Ceremal's playing Ogres. I forgot Ceremal was playing Ogres. Alright, looking. We've got another Goblin team, Khorne Knight. 0-0 draw against some Dark Elves. This is exactly how my Goblin game went. The only SPP he got was from his MVP. Looks like he lost a lot of players in that game. Or he just started really low TV. I'm not sure which. Let's see if he's got some deaths looking at the match history.
No Fanatic or any, only the Chainsaw. So either he's just trying to stay super low TV, or people died.
It says 2 casualties sustained, but no deaths. So unless people got fired, I would not want to run an 11-man Goblin roster, especially when one of those 11 is a secret weapon. But
I suppose you could just roster or induce a bunch of star players.
Yeah, and they have nice cheap star players, but they're all the good ones are secret weapons, so you're still going to lose them more than likely. He does have Nuffle's Altar, so that's why he has not much of a team. He spent all of his starting money to get a Nuffle's Altar out of the gate. That makes sense. Khorne Knight. And he did get a draw in his first game, so he's doing better than me with Goblins, so I can't give him too much grief. Mr. Mo playing Khemri again. He played Khemri last season. Mr. Mo was in my division with my Skaven his first season playing Skaven, and he had some bad luck and most of his team died. So then he rerolled Khemri. Played Khemri last season. It looks like he's rerolled Khemri again for this season. Player unknown battleground calls. You'll be back later. Okay. Only 1 Blitz Raw, but both Throw Raws and 3 rerolls. I don't play Khemri much. Do you play much Khemri fiction?
I don't know if I've ever played Khemri.
Okay. I was just trying to think. I think you can either get both Throw Raws and a Blitz Raw, or you can get both Blitz Raws and a Throw Raw, but not both, and still have 3 rerolls. So, props to anyone playing Khemri.
Google.
All right. Oh, he's got a... So what level up has he not rolled? He's got a level up on that Blitz Raw, though. Did he win his first game? That's a lot of SP. He won! Who did he play?
2-0, I think.
Wow. Beat up on the Underworld team. So Underworld team's not doing too hot to start off with. Underworld teams are kind of a slow burn, though. They usually start off weak, and then as you start getting access to those sweet, sweet mutations, they get a lot better. So, not terribly surprising to have a rough start. Gotta really play well. Well, here's your team, Carlos. Underworld. Also the 1 thrower build. Maybe that's the more popular build. I think the couple times I've played Underworld, I've gone double throwers just because I would much rather have them than a Goblin. But 13 man is usually the starting roster. Oh, maybe I don't. Now that I say that a couple times, I think maybe I do usually only have the 1 thrower to start. But anyways, yeah, got an MVP on his Troll. That was his only SPP, unfortunately. But at least the MVP went to a nice spot. Apple for them at 5 removals in turn 3. Oof. That's a rough start. So he lost to the Mr. Mo's Khemri. Alright. Dark Crag Outcasts. Stovehound. He's been in the league at least a few years. A few seasons, I should say. Looks like he lost a Blitzer possibly first game.
Ouch.
Played against... There's been a lot of dead elves. Oh, he was against the Goblins. He's the team that tied the Goblins. There's been a lot of dead elves, I've noticed. We had a pro elf team who has now left the league because he was upset that a couple of his players died. This dark elf team lost a Blitzer. The dark elf team that played my Goblins lost a dark elf Blitzer. And M&G to dark elf Blitzer. There was... Oh, wait, when we get to Pig Sofa's Halflings pitch cleared some woodies this week.
Well,
and killed a couple of Wood Elves. That's probably one of the highlights I will probably play. I actually watched that match in its entirety off stream in my free time because he said he had pitch cleared them and I was like, I've got to see this. And he scored a tree touchdown in the second half. So we'll definitely highlight that when we're done looking at the teams. So again with the runner for Blitzer build, unfortunately his Blitzer died. and he didn't get any level ups. Next, we have Sage's Kislev. I know Sage won his first game. He was against...
Took a beating, but not on anyone important.
Oh,
so.
he got a dead MVP, though. That burns. Played against some Orcses. Yep. He's got an MG lineman, and it looks like he lost the lineman. What?
I think the worst thing that can happen is game one of your blitzers dies. Yeah. You're not getting him back for like 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, because they're so expensive on Kislev. I have tried to play Kislev several times, and I think I'm just too YOLO to play them properly. I just do way too much silly stuff with them. Because it's so much fun, all the stuff you can do with them.
It's enticing.
I niggled a couple Pro Elf positionals in US Group C and did minus strength to 11. That was probably the other one I was thinking of. But there's just been a lot of dead elves early on. I think I even mentioned it when I was talking about when I posted in the highlight thread. So Sage lost a couple players, but he did get the win. Conch Fantastic, I apologize. A game of bros, playing some humans. Big bro, smashing bro, fighting bro. Very, very nice. Doesn't look like he's played his first game yet. Standard human build. Oh, no thrower, though. So not standard. Decided to start with an Apo instead of having a thrower.
And 10k in the bank for all that juicy inducement thing that you can buy with 10k.
Well, it's not like you're going to buy a cheerleader with it, so...
True.
He has not played his first game yet. So a no thrower must be planning on handling the ball with his blitzers.
He's taking a financial course and saving his money.
Yes. Next we have some Orcs who also have not played yet. Bobby Bintang. The pros are taking a kicking throughout the league so far. Yeah.
It's good to hear. Lots of dead elves out there.
So we've got another standard orc build, no thrower. So we've got, I think, like an even split between no thrower and thrower orcs so far.
All we need is a 2-thrower build, and we're complete.
And then we've covered all the bases. AI Bundy, or Al Bundy, never mind. Al Bundy.
Starts with a troll on this one, though.
Does start with a troll on that one, yeah, sorry, I should have pointed that out. So not the completely standard. Only went with 3 black orcs and a troll, rather than 4 black orcs and no troll. I like the troll. The troll gets a lot of grief, I feel like. But then again, I play goblins, and I both love and hate the troll. Last night on my stream, I kind of had to end my stream because I was so angry because my troll ate my Agi 4 goblin. So that was a rough way to end the stream. Alright, Al Bundy's Pro Elves. 2 catchers, thrower, 2 blitzers, some line elves, standard. He went with 3 rerolls and no Apo. I mentioned on the last team that I like the 2 reroll and an Apo to start with build personally on Pro Elves. Hasn't played his first game yet.
The ball and dodging. Apart from picking up the ball and dodging, you don't really need the rerolls.
Yeah, and you're not going to be doing a lot of hitting as Pro Elves. I mean, honestly, they can benefit a lot from having 3 rerolls. It's just I don't want to play Pro Elves without an Apothecary in the bank. The league is 70 teams, Bork, this season. We have 7 divisions of 10 teams, which is almost double what we had last season. Because last season, I think we were in the 40s. All right, this is the orc that played against Sage this week. He has a leveled up black orc that he hasn't rolled yet. Roll your levels ups, people. We can't talk about your team if you don't have level ups rolled.
We can't talk about that diving tackle black orc first level if you don't have one.
Yes. But looks like he lost a lineman in that game. He does have a thrower. Alright. And then Ceremal's Ogres. Ceremal has not played his game yet, I don't believe. We've got my preferred ogre build. 5 ogres, 2 rerolls. And some nobblers. Didn't buy that 13th nobbler, though. What are you waiting on, Ceremal? You got 20 in the bank. That's a nobbler. Because you're going to run out of nobblers with only, what has he got, 7 of them? He's going to run out of nobblers anyway, so let's be fair. It's an ogre.
It seems like our fearless leader is of the opinion not to give custom names.
He wants an Apo. Okay. He wants the Apo, so that's why he hasn't bought another Nobbler. All right, and that is all of Europe finished now. So let's look at the. So usually Sage is a safe bet to win a league, but at the same time he's playing Kislev, who start off really weak. So I don't know that I would go with him as my favorite for Group D.
So maybe next season he'll just take it all.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. But I mean, I'm sure he'll do fine though. Kemry's off to a good start, but I find it kind of hard to pick Kemry as a who's going to win the division. So if we look at the, but I mean, this is kind of a wide open league. Honestly, you've got people playing. You've got goblins, underworld, ogres. You got all sorts of stuff. You would think probably the standard teams eventually will take it, maybe, but the dark elves didn't win their first game and are down a blitzer already. So yeah,
Not
I don't know.
A single wood elf group across Europe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back, and now that we've looked at all the teams and I have all that in my head, I'm gonna go back through and talk about who I think will probably take home. I think in this, I think I'm still probably. I think Sage is probably the betting favorite, honestly, but I think one of the Orcs teams could take this league, depending on how they play. But I'm not familiar with these coaches, so that makes me a little more hesitant to take them. But there's a lot of silly in this league with the Ogre, Goblin, Underworld, and Kemry. That
Orcs could do very well because there's not much claw. There's no claw in this division at all. Except for Underworld, maybe.
Keep an eye on Al Bundy. He's a good coach. Yeah, Pro Elves could easily. I mean, this is kind of a wide open division, honestly. You don't have, your dwarves, whatever, to beat up on all those silly teams. So, yeah, that's for that division. Let's go back. So that was Group D. Let's look at Group C again. So far, everyone's played their match already for this group. So the this is kind of a bashy division. I don't know. First season, I'm probably. That's tough.
I think I'm gonna side with the Chaos Dwarves.
Yeah, Chaos Dwarves are kind of hard to bet against.
Maybe Dark Elves.
None of the Dark Elves have won yet, though. Or the Dark Elf in this division didn't. He got a tie in the first game.
Whoops.
You look at the leaderboard. Yeah, probably going to say that, Chaos Dwarves have a pretty good shot. Yeah, High Elves are just so weak to start with. Who did he play in his first game? A fresh High Elf team, I think, is going to just hit rough spots. He played against...
He's top of the league, but, I mean...
He played against Dwarves. He beat Dwarves 2-0, but Dwarves... He got Dwarves at a good time before he even had any dodge to worry about. So...
Or guard.
Yeah, or guard yet. Hey, Billy. Well, there's no booze yet, so this is for TBBL. But yeah, I think probably that Chaos Dwarf squad would be my favorite right now. It's so early to pick. All right, looking at Group B. They've played most of their games. A lot of good coaches in this division, my goodness. DeCoach is in this, Seo's in here, Bleeding Hippie. Bleeding Hippie's a little beat up, though. But I expect him to rebound if anybody can do it. But I think I gotta go with Lizards with that plus Strength Skink already out of the gate and a win under their belt already. I think I'm picking Shrimp's Lizards to take this division home right now if I have to pick early. As long as he gets by the Chaos Dwarves and they don't squish his Skink, I think he could easily win that division.
Yeah. Would say Undead, but... Alright.
Yeah, they lost their first game, though, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm. The draw. But they lost a player, I believe, in this one.
Yeah, they've got that AV boosted goal. Colian's dwarf team is insanely stupidly fed. Oh yeah, Colian's dwarf team is in Champ Ladder. This is disgusting. All right, let's look at Group A for Europe. Nachi got a 4-0 win on his Amazons, but no level ups out of it, which is crazy to me. Oh no, we got 1 level up. That might even on one of his blitzers. I think a season of young teams. I think I'm gonna probably go with that Amazon team to win this division.
Oh yeah.
Wolfskin's a very good coach, though. I wouldn't be
Lizards have
surprised.
probably got a good shot.
Yeah. Yeah, Lizards, they got a draw in their first game, and they're missing a Saurus for their second game. But Lizards are usually pretty good against fresh teams as well. So, but if I had to pick one, I probably am going with Hunachi's Amazons. After putting, and I know the team that they beat was Sulafin, who I know is a good Dark Elf coach. So I know he wasn't playing against a weaker opponent. Yeah,
Somebody who just bought Blood Bowl and joined the league, yeah.
All right. That is all of Europe. Let's move on to the US divisions. Group A. This is the division that I am in. So looking at the leaderboard, you can see I heroically lost my first game. You got some background noise there a little bit, Fiction.
Sorry?
Like a fan or something. Let's see, we've got, so, Necro, Dark Elf, Orc, Lizard, Human, Undead, Underworld, my Goblin team, Norse, and Dark Elf. So, let's go in order, looking at the Necro team. This is Stringer Bell. Stringer, I've never seen Stringer play anything but Chaos. So when he was playing Necro, I was a little surprised. And he has an interesting build. Only 2 rerolls, and both werewolves and a ghoul. I usually see somebody either go ghouls or werewolves, but not both. And he's only got 1 flesh golem. Yeah. So I don't, and he's still got money in the bank that he didn't spend. So his build confuses me. I remember looking at it and not being sure what was going on. But yeah, that's
It's been a while since I started the Necro team, but I'm pretty sure you can get 2 werewolves, 2 flesh golems, and 2 whites, no ghoul, and 2 rerolls.
Did you say that again? You did 2 whites and 2 ghouls?
Yeah, you can get 2 flesh golems, 2 whites, 2 werewolves, and no ghoul, which is usually what I would do. Pick up the ghoul later, and then to start with 2 rerolls.
Yeah. Yeah, I think usually you trade out that ghoul for, because he's got the money, you just have a flesh golem instead of that ghoul there. And then he'd still have 20k in the bank. I think that's the normal start. Yeah, you could even, yeah, you couldn't quite afford a flesh golem, but yeah, I don't know. That's an odd build. Stringer wasn't playing Chaos in the Champ Cup. I don't know, I always see him playing Chaos though, I feel like, but maybe I'm just off. Alright, Wunderbar playing Dark Elves. This seems to be the build, other than the guy who went double Assassins. 4 Blitzers and a Runner. Although it looks like he lost the lineman, he must have already played a game. He won, beat the Undead team. It's a good result, Dark Elves against Undead. 1-0, grind out, but looks like he lost the lineman in the process. No level ups to speak of yet. You can replace. He's actually got the money right now to replace the lineman if he wants. So, and a win under his belt, so decent start for him. Eisen Mike, good coach, playing Orcs this season. He's already played a game. Lost to...
It's a pretty funny naming
Lizards. Scheme. Unworthy of Mordor. Bleh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The one after fix. I like that.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. That is a good naming scheme. Hopefully none of them die, or if they do, he remembers what to replace them with. See, but the part that would bother me about this is now you've locked in these positions. I have to organize my guys by SPP, or it drives me crazy. Like this Black Orc here would have to be at the top, and you can't do that. But he is missing a Black Orc first X game, and he started off with a loss, so that's a rough start to the season for the Orcs a little bit.
Unlucky.
But no permanent
Probably
damage.
because he took a thrower. No troll, no goblins.
Yeah. All right, and the guy who beat the Orcs, Sasanike, playing Lizards.
He's in Mike's preferred race, if I think correctly. His main, you could say.
Is it? Fair enough.
That's what he plays in Rebel. He's been playing it for like all the seasons in a row, I think. I don't remember. I'm probably wrong.
Alright, so he's got guard on his Crocs. Level 1, game 1 level up on the Crocs is nice. And a leveled up Skink and a dead Skink. 2 rerolls, pretty standard. A little bit of development. Nothing on his Saurus though, unfortunately. You'd like to get some development, yeah, Sasanike is a good coach. So
at least one MVP.
Alright, and then Robbie Defense playing Humans. I believe this is a coach that joined late because we had a 9-man league, and so there was actually an AI placeholder. I think he filled in the AI spot though. I believe he had not played any multiplayer. He did lose to, yeah, I remember him saying he had not played multiplayer at all yet, and he was jumping into league play. But he did lose 2-0, but I think, if I remember correctly, I saw the match report for this game. He did some damage. He permanently injured 2 of these Norsemen, I believe. Did get a level up on his Blitzer, which of course he has not rolled yet. Standard human build though, all 4 Blitzers, Ogre, Catcher, Thrower, 3 rerolls. Randomly
did a pass with a catcher, it looks like.
Yeah, probably the end of the half or something. Or maybe trying a YOLO
Vanity.
play to get... Yeah, maybe he was trying something crazy. Alright. Undead lost their first game. This is Fall.
Undead are having a rough, despite being the strong TB.
That seems to be a continuing theme. The Undead teams are not starting off strong, it seems like. We've seen pretty much across the board Undead have been losing, or at best drawing their first game.
Did inflict a kill.
Yes, he did get a kill. He played against... We already looked at the team he played against, but I forget it now. The Elves, the Dark Elves. That was the team we were talking about. He had the money if he wanted to replace the lineman. 3 ghouls, 1-man bench, 3 rerolls. Pretty
Random
standard.
skeleton.
Huh?
Hopefully for fouling. I mean, if I build a skeleton on Undead, I hope to get it.
Yeah, he does have 1 single skeleton.
One extra movement sometimes matters.
Yeah. I actually, now I don't play Undead much, so I don't take them super seriously when I do, but I usually go all skeletons. I like the extra movement. And in open ladder, you're usually or not open ladder, but in champion ladder, you're usually fighting a bunch of claw-wielding maniacs anyways, so I don't mind the AV7. Alright, then we have Planet Houston playing some Underworld.
The Underdogs.
There we go. There's the build, the double thrower build. This is the build that I like when I play Underworld, because you want as many not goblins as possible. Yeah, this I think is my standard
not played yet?
Has not played yet. So, but this is the build I was talking about earlier.
And an Apo.
Yeah, you can still have 3 rerolls and an Apo out of the gate and have all your Skaven positionals. Underworld are such an odd team to play, especially if you've played a lot of Skaven, because your Skaven linemen are actually some of your better players, and you're used to them being garbage from playing Skaven. And they're still garbage, but they're still one of your better players on your Underworld team. And once you start getting mutations on them, they can actually turn into interesting players. Alright, now my Goblin team. This was my starting build. I did have a Goblin die and have to replace them. The naming thing is more cold my beer, and these are all terrible decisions that you can make in Blood Bowl or when all the players are named after. Very fun game. Statistically, a bad game for me. We lost 2-0. The only SPP I got was from the MVP. But my chainsaw did kill a Dark Elf Blitzer. I did have 5+ Goblin Toss 8 troll food, killing him. So now we have troll food 2 on the team. We hit the ball carrier with thrown goblins twice.
Nice.
On back-to-back turns. It was a very fun game, but the result was not particularly good. All right, so that's my goblins. Next we have Pieces of Mind, playing some Norse. They did win 2-0. Ah, yeah, this is the team that human coach beat up pretty good. Movement busted Berserker, movement busted Lineman, and a miss next game, or is this a niggle? Let's have a look. Just an MMG on that Lineman. That's a rough start.
You expect to get armor exploded, but not your first game.
Yeah, and you hope it's not permanent injuries. What do you think? Do you keep that Blitzer, or that Berserker, I mean, with the movement bust, or do you replace him as fast as humanly possible?
He's got 50k in the bank. I think by his next game, he'll have enough money to replace him.
Yeah.
Assuming he doesn't lose other positionals.
Yeah, having a slow player with Frenzy is just a pain in the ass. So,
I mean, the jump up kind of curved some of that, but I think, it's early enough. You may as well just switch him out.
Yeah.
He's got no SPP.
He probably keeps the movement busted Lineman though, and just uses him as LOS
it's just fodder anyway. They're usually standing next to people.
Yeah, and fortunately for him, he did get block on his Ulf already, and he does have blodge on his runner. And Norse have some of the best loners in the game. So I think he'll be perfectly fine for his next game. Wait, did he only have one? No, he had 2 Ulfs, right? Yeah, he's got 2 Ulfs.
2 Ulfs.
Okay. So standard Norse build. And then this is the Dark Elf team that my goblins beat up a little bit. Dead Blitzer, and then his other Blitzer is MNG'd, but he did level and picked up Blodge. Looks like he has... Yeah, no. Doesn't have any money really to do much with this far. It looks like he bought an Apothecary after the game with his winnings. So I don't think... Pretty confident he did not have an Apo for that game. But, again, the build we keep saying with the 4 Blitzers and the runner. Nobody started a Witch Elf. That's a little surprising. I mean, it's less common, but I still expected to see somebody start with a Witch Elf. Because you can do it.
I mean, I probably would start with the 1 Witch Elf.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure you can easily start the 3 Blitzers on a Witch, I think. You have no runner in that build, but yeah. All right, that's Group A. I guess we'll do favorites as we go this time rather than doing them all at the end. So looking.
Obviously, the favorite is Jump by Jim's Goblin.
Yes, no, no. I'm not expecting to win this league. I do hope to win some games and have some fun while I'm doing it, but I do not expect to win. Sassanike is a really good coach. He's already off to a good start. He's probably my favorite if I had to pick one. Stringer Bell, he hasn't played yet, but I know he's a very good coach, but he's got that really weird Necro build that I'm not a fan of. So, yeah, I think Sassanike is probably my favorite to win this division. Eisenmike's a very good coach as well, but he's a little banged up and he's already got a loss. So, yeah, I'm probably, right now I would pick Sassanike to probably win this division. Alright, now we're on to US Group B.
See no reason to disagree.
This is the division that I'm actually adminning. This has 2 halflings in it. Pig Sofa, we're going to look at his game a little bit in a bit. That he pitch cleared the Wood Elves. As you can see, the Wood Elves now have a TV of 660 for the next game. Alright, so first we've got some Skaven.
First Wood Elves we've seen.
Let's see if he started. He did start Rat Ogre. Boo. I hate Rat Ogres. And I play a lot of Skaven. But this is the standard build when you do go with a Rat Ogre. 3 rerolls, no Apo to start with, 3 gutters. If you're going to run a Rat Ogre, that's how you generally do it. So not a lot.
This is also my division.
This is your division?
One I play in.
Alright, well, we'll see you coming here up shortly. Then we have Enar's beat up Wood Elves. Let's see how bad it is.
That's good.
Movement busted War Dancer.
Ouch.
Is this an MNG? MNG lineman and 2 dead players. That is a really rough start for Wood Elves.
It would be hilarious if he started with a tree and then died.
Yes, the tree did not die. He probably would have had a better game, honestly, against those halflings with a tree.
Yeah, maybe.
But we did have our first halfling win, 2-1,
Halflings.
and he got dead lineman MVP. That's rough. We'll look at that game in a little bit. That was a fun game. Well, it was a pretty straightforward game. It was just amazing to see. Yeah, that's basically a dead word answer, because, yeah, you're not going to keep a movement busted word answer. Looking at Spears Undead, he has played a game. He got a draw against a halfling team. That's a good result for those halflings. Getting a draw against Undead.
Halflings beating the good early TB teams.
Again, we see Undead, that's the trend we're seeing. Undead are not starting strong, which is shocking. They're one of the best TV 1000 teams, and they just haven't got off to a good start.
Does get the level up on the mummy, though, so that's nice.
Does get gets 9 SPP. Well, it helps when you've got little halfling pinatas to hit. So that's probably where he got 2 injuries, and then, yeah, he clearly got the MVP, because nobody else has 5 on the team. Either he's got this weird space for some reason in his thing, or he lost a player. But based on his build, I don't think he lost a player.
I assume a space.
Yeah. But 3 ghoul start, or he picked up a ghoul after the first game. Probably had a 3 ghoul start and then picked up a zombie after the first game, most likely. Can you do a 3 ghoul start at 1000 TV and have 3 rerolls? I'm not sure if you can. So he may have gotten that ghoul after the game. Well, I guess I could look at games played. That would be the easiest way to do it, Jim. He did play. Okay. So yeah, he had all 3 of those goals for the first match. Alright. Next we have Yoshi Harumo's Underworld team. They lost to... was that Dark Elves? No, he lost to Undead, looks like. Did he lose a player? He either only started with 1 thrower or he lost a thrower in that first game. Based on how deep his bench is, 3 rolls in Apo, and 50k in the bag, he must have probably only started with 1 thrower. No level ups yet. So not anything too crazy. Underworld Evolution. I don't know. These don't look like actual goblin names, so I'm not sure. He's obviously referencing something with these names. Maybe it's a anime or something that I'm not familiar with. Detective Sebastian's the troll. If anybody knows what that reference is, let me know. And then your Kislev team.
Yes.
I'll let you talk about it if you like. Looks like you got a draw in your first game.
I did. What happened is turn 1, I rolled a 1 and 9, and I had 1 guy on the ball, and it ended up the vampires scored that half, and then later I scored again that half. So
all the scoring came in the first half?
No, I think it was a 2-2. No, it was a 1-1. Man, my memory is shit.
Looks like you got an edgy busted lineman.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's probably that'll definitely go away.
Yeah.
Doing 4+ leaps, YOLO plays.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could use him as line fodder until you can, but you'll have enough money. You only need 20k to replace him, so unless you wanted to go with an Apo first.
It's actually an interesting decision because it's too early to start buying more blitzers, but you always need to save money for blitzers.
Yeah. So probably what I would do is fire him, buy an Apo, and just deal with having a loner for a little bit. Because you're gonna you want that Apo because the blitzers are just so damned expensive.
That's what I meant about rolling low. Just 10k short of the Apo is really annoying.
Oh, that's what happened. You rolled low on the weddings. That sucks.
This is my favorite Kislev build though. 2 blitzers, 2 catchers, 4 rerolls.
I've tried a couple different ones. I've had no success with any one of them, as I've said so far. I'm pretty sure I've lost every game of Kislev I've tried to play. I haven't played many. I've only played like 3, but I'm pretty sure I keep losing.
I really wanted the bear to be good, but it just
doesn't really fit the playstyle. I've tried squeezing the bear in, and it just doesn't seem to work.
I also don't like one catcher because second catcher allows you to move the ball.
Yeah.
So much easier.
Next,
moving on to my opponents.
Yeah, next we have the vampire team that you played against, who got the tie. No level ups as of yet. Got MVP on a thrall. It looks like that kind of sucks. How many players?
I do remember something interesting that happened that game. I killed one of his vampires, but it regened.
Ah, lucky for him then. Yeah, that sets you back pretty hard if you lose a vampire pretty early on. Does not have an Apo yet. Apparently, it looks like he spent his, because if you go with the 4 vampire 4 reroll build, you have exactly 11 players, and he's got a 12th player now, so he must have bought another thrall after that game. I think I probably would have gone with the Apo before buying a 12th player, because he must have had the money for it, because he's got 10k in the bank. So it's just, you gotta protect your vampires, I feel like. But otherwise, pretty standard, no level ups to look at yet. Piece of the Verse, Undead. He got I think we saw he got a win, yes. He played against the Underworld team. Picked up a win in his first game. Another AV busted ghoul.
Yeah.
We do finally see an Undead team with a win, though. First one we've seen so far. Standard Undead build. You've got both mummies, both whites, 2 ghouls, 3 rerolls. But he's going to have to replace that ghoul now. He has the money to do it right now if he wants. And you don't really have anything else to spend money on, honestly, because it's not like you're not going to be buying an Apo or anything.
Don't need another reroll.
Yeah, so yeah, you don't want to go to 4 rerolls, so probably I would go ahead and replace that ghoul before my next game if I were him.
Or 2 zombies, but I'd probably do the ghoul.
I'd probably go with the ghoul. Alright, next we have a halfling team that got a draw. Which is, halflings are the worst, spelled like bratwurst, of course. Played against Undead and got a draw. Very good result for halflings. He's 790 TV, so you're looking at like a bribe and a chef, or a chef and maybe Puggy with a little bit of money from the bank. Puggy's only, I think, 130. But yeah, pretty steady. No Apo yet. I don't really know when do you
stadium.
I don't know when you splurge on an Apo on a halfling team, really. I mean, the trees theoretically aren't going to die until you run into some claw. Yeah, chef and 2 babes. Yeah, that's probably better.
It does have the level 2 stadium now, so he's getting closer to that. Nuffle's altar.
Yes. Oh, that's he could actually buy that now if you wanted. Yeah, with Nuffle's altar, yeah, you drop Puggy to 80k, and then you can get him and a chef. Agi 4 fling. Yeah, when you get an Agi 4 fling, yep, that's when you buy an Apo, probably. Alright, so that's the first of 2 halfling teams in this division. The other one is Pig Sofa.
Good thing about trees is they don't eat your halflings.
Yes, they don't eat your halflings, and they are better throwers than trolls are. He appears to have named his team mostly after other players. I assume does Pig Sofa stream?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing those were viewers. Named one after me. Appreciate it. I
I
assume that's
to
me.
Sue you, Pig Sofa.
That possibly could be like Jimmy Fantastic or somebody, I guess, but I'm guessing that's probably me. I didn't appear to do anything in the game. No level ups, but he had a really good game, and he got a tree touchdown. So we'll look at that. We're gonna watch that game a little bit, or we're gonna highlight it.
2 of his halflings died because there are some seconds in here.
Yeah, that's true. Spark the second, Eisenmike the second. Yep. So 2 dead halflings. That's kind of to be expected. Still's got plenty of money in the bank. Does he have a stadium upgrade yet? No, he has not done anything with his stadium as of yet. And then last we have Sparks Nurgle, who based on their TV had a... Whoa! Oh, he just hasn't finished building them yet.
Oh,
I was like, what the hell?
we
All right,
lost all of these.
so Spark put himself in it because he's an admin. He just put his team in. He hasn't finished building them yet, so that was funny
You
though.
should leave it like that. I approve of this.
I just saw this and I was like, holy shit. Yeah, so he hasn't finished building them yet, but so not really much to say there. Spark likes to play all the regen teams. He's a good coach. I'm sure he'll do fine in the division, but Nurgle is a rough start though, so he may have some growing pains. But he's got this is an interesting division. You've got Kislev, Skaven, Underworld, two halfling teams, Vampire. This is kind of like it's quite the hodgepodge.
A bit of bash, mostly hybrid.
Yeah, a lot of hybrid teams here. Yeah, Nurgle and Undead are really the two bash teams. Underworld will eventually kind of morph into a bash team as they start to get their claw and whatnot. But I mean, claw isn't even that great in this division.
An agi team.
Huh?
They could morph into an agi team. But
that too. Well, they'll kind of morph into both as they go. The goblins start getting 2 heads and extra arms and shit. Yeah, there's a lot of stunties. There's a lot of stunties in this season and the entire league, but this division in particular has a lot of agi stunty based teams. I mean, but the claw.
87.
Yeah, claw isn't really going to be that useful in this division. I mean, the 2 undead teams in the Nurgle, I guess, but it'll help against trees for the halflings, I suppose. So.
Only the Nurgle don't have 87 in this league.
Yeah. All right, so that's Group B. Oh, I didn't pick a winner. Let's have a look at it. Oops. That's Europe Group B. US Group B. So if we look at the teams, so looking at the records. Oh my, this one's hard to call.
Obviously the halflings.
I would love to pick Pig Sofa. Pig Sofa also told me his last league he played halflings in, they had 2 draws, 10 losses, and no wins. So, but he is an experienced halfling coach, I believe.
He was saving all of his luck for that last match.
Yeah, I honestly, this one's tough to call, because you maybe would go with the undead, I guess, but I don't know. Not really sure what kind of coach Piece of the Verse is. I'm not familiar with him.
The only undead team to win across.
They were the only undead team to win
so far.
That's true.
Says something, maybe.
They beat the Underworld, though. Underworld are a pretty weak TV 1000 team, but that doesn't matter. We've also seen halflings tie undead, so I think probably, honestly, I probably am picking Spark, even though he hasn't even finished building his Nurgle yet. And Nurgle do start off pretty weak, but I have faith in Spark. If your Kislev get going,
eventually.
you could potentially win. Yeah, I don't know. That's a really tough division to call, honestly.
It's early Kislev, so, I mean...
Yeah, you'll probably have a few rough games, but... Alright, that's Group B, and then we got 1 division left. We're actually moving through this pretty fast. I'm happy with the pace. I thought doing... Because last season we only had to do 40 teams, and it would take me an hour and a half. Yeah, Nurgle first season would be pretty tough. Alright, looking at Group C, we've got Kislev, Brett's. That's the only Brett team in the league.
Only Brett's. Nice.
Halflings, the 600 TV halfling build. That's my preferred halfling build. Norse, Chaos Dwarf, Kislev again, Lizards, Pro Elves, Underworld, Chaos. Alright, so let's look at the Kislev. Coach is Vort. He went with the 2 blitzer, 1 catcher, 4 reroll build. Does that give him a bench? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. No. So you like to go 2 blitzers, 2 catchers. Do you only have 3 rerolls in that build?
I have 4.
Oh, you just have 1 less lineman. Okay, because the catchers are only 20k more than the lineman. Okay, I see. That makes sense. So he went with... I think this is the build. Actually, no, I went with a... The last time I tried Kislev, I went with a bear, which meant I only had 3 rerolls. And 3 rerolls just doesn't feel like enough playing Kislev.
It's awful.
I've decided.
It's surprising how major of a difference that 1 reroll is.
Yeah. So, pretty standard build. Hasn't played a game yet, doesn't look like. We've got Brett's. This is the league that's played the fewest games so far, so a lot of these teams are going to be just fresh builds. Standard Brett build. All your blitzers. Well, he's down a blocker. Usually you start all 4 blockers. So I guess not a standard Brett build. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he's going with a bench instead of a 4th blocker.
2 rerolls.
Battle boars. They're all pig puns of some form or another. Well, not so much puns. Pig-related names. 2 rerolls is pretty standard on Brett's, because you won all 4 blitzers. Stupid Flings by Tilly. That's the next team. Went with the minimalist. This is a fun halfling build. You go with just a 1-man bench, 1 reroll, and you got a shit ton of money to spend. And the nice thing is in a scheduled, and he must have bought his stadium upgrade already. Yep, he got Nuffle's Altar. He upgraded it to level 3 just to burn off money.
Nice.
I guess that works. I don't know, because did he have to do that? I think I would have just accepted that my TV would have been counted as 50 higher and just spent the money in the first game, maybe.
Could have kept the 150.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless the math didn't add up for that, like you had.
Well, you can't. The problem is, so normally when you want to burn off TV, like in a season, you can just like buy and sell cheerleaders. You can't. That strategy doesn't work, obviously, before the games are played, because it'll just refund you the 10K you spent on the cheerleader when you subtract it. So he had 200K in the bank, and the only way to actually spend it was to upgrade his stadium again, or buy an apothecary or something, and he wanted his TV to stay at 600. So I guess that's why he did it that way. That was the only way to actually burn off the money, but I think I would have just either bought an Apo, which I don't think I would have done. I would have just gone into the game with 200 in the bank, knowing I'm going to spend some of it on inducements. But then again, you're giving away inducements to your opponent, I think, when you do it that way now. But actually, no, when you're the underdog, because you're going second, you're not giving away inducements. So, yeah, no, I would have just kept the money in the bank and spent it, I think. But that must be why he did it, was just to burn off that 200K. Next, we have Chaos Dwarves. The Red Joker. This is Bull Country. Doesn't look like he had a naming scheme, or if he does, I don't understand it. I think those are probably pre-gen names.
I think those are standard.
Standard setup. All your Chaos Dwarves, 2 bulls, 2 rerolls. Went with an Apo instead of a spare Hobgoblin. I like having the spare Hobgoblin to foul with, personally. But yeah, pretty standard. Chaos Dwarf hasn't played any matches yet. Professor Chaos playing Norse. A couple of Norse teams. I think Norse were pretty unrepresented last season. I don't know that we had much Norse. Another banged up Berserker, but this one's not permanently injured, assuming that's not a niggle. It's not. He got a draw in his first game against my lizard pony. Which is some lizards, obviously. So, yeah. 2 Ulfs, 1 Runner, 2 Berserkers. Pretty standard Norse setup. 3 rerolls and an Apo. No Yeti. We've not seen a Yeti at all. So
I love the Yeti.
Yeah. It's just an AV8 big guy is rough. Is it just so easy to take out of the game? Chaos team definitely.
Nice having that claw and later mighty blow.
Yeah.
On that.
Yeah, I like the Yeti too. But I can understand the arguments against taking it as well. But the thing is, the Yeti is not a very good big guy, but the Norse need him, is the way that it feels. So this Chaos team lost their first game. They played against the Nightwings, which I believe is Shattered Ice's Pro Elves. He's got 3 Imanchi Beastmen. He got block on 2 of his warriors after the first game, though. That's really good. So, yeah, is this your team, Dapper? Yeah, that's really nice development on the warriors. You expect to have a little trouble early on as Chaos, so the loss isn't that big a deal, but the development on the warriors is really nice.
6 casualties inflicted. Pretty good.
Yeah, probably banged. We'll see Shatter's team in a minute. He must have banged on some elves. Next we have Underworld Denizens. Agrain. He did go with the 2-thrower setup that I've talked about. Hasn't played yet, though. So, pretty standard Underworld starting roster. Not a whole lot to say. Named all Gabros before hoes, and they're all named after rappers. I love it. I like the theme. But not too much to say there. Next we have Shattered's probably banged up. Ooh.
None of the Beastie Boys are in there.
Oh, no Beastie Boys? Fail. Let's see. So oh, that's a niggle. That's a niggled catcher. So his catcher's niggled. His thrower is also niggled. Ugh.
That's a real tough choice.
Oh, that's rough, Shattered. Yeah, so double niggles there and a dead in his first game. Shattered's a very good coach, and he's been putting a lot of time into practicing pro elves. He's been playing a lot of pro elves in Champ Ladder. I know, and in the beta as well. I still think Shattered probably can take this whole division with these pro elves. He probably won't be able to fire those 2 niggles though. He'll just have to keep them till they die, most likely.
Yeah.
Because he's already got a death, and he's got only 20k in the bank. Does have an Apo now. That was probably his purchase after the game.
Still managed to win.
Yep, did get a win. He'll do fine. He'll be fine, I should say. All right, Faril, pink outfit lizards, pink or purple, I'm not sure. 2 injured sources for next game. That sucks. Let's see if they're niggles or just M&Gs. That one's just an M&G.
Also M&G.
Also M&G. Okay. So they'll be fine, but rolled a double on a skink. Wrestle skink.
Wrestle.
I like wrestle on a skink. Gives you a nice cage diver. He's not gonna live long though. That skink will be gone within. When we do our next State of the League, I'll be surprised if this skink's still alive.
Dives in, does the red dives, block, gets double.
Well, and with so many stunties in the league this year, I mean, it's not even necessarily a red dive in. I mean, half the time it might be a 1 die.
Possible.
I mean, if he were playing against like my goblins, that's gonna be a 1 die. So
but then wrestles ends up on the floor and just gets fouled.
Yeah, he just gets fouled into oblivion. So I don't expect him to live very long, but he might make some cool plays until he's gone.
All they need is 1.
Yep. All right, so that's pretty standard source build in general, though. And he got a draw in his first game. And then last but not least, hopefully, we have Danger Donkey. I like the coach name. McMurdy's Flying Circus.
I'm a little confused what he did with the money.
What do you mean?
He still only got 11 people, but he went 2 blitzers, 1 catcher.
Well, the difference is, so if you do with the 4 he's got 4 rerolls. The difference between his build and yours is that he swaps out you swap out a lineman for a catcher.
See,
and he's got 20k in the bank.
Yeah, earlier we looked at somebody else who did the same thing, and I just for some reason assumed he had 12 men.
Yeah, no, he just stop leaving spaces in your team rosters, everybody. It drives me fucking batty. God. I mean, you do what you want with your rosters, but it just drives me crazy when I'm trying to look at them and I have to manually count all the players. But yeah, that's the same build the other gentleman had, which is slightly different than yours. The catchers are just strength 2 and not having dodge. They just suck. They just suck to start off with. They develop nicely.
They're super easy to get SPP on, though.
Oh yeah, because they go wherever they want. 2+ leaps, agility 4. All right, and I'm honestly probably I'm gonna be a bit of a homer here because Shattered's probably one of my main regulars in my streams. I'm gonna call Shattered as winning this division with his pro elves. And even though he's banged up, I think he'll know how to handle that. He's been practicing.
Most people haven't played yet, so I don't know how to.
Yeah, you're
call
basically just
else.
Yeah, you're basically picking based on potential, and just I mean. I'm not real familiar with some of the coaches in this league, and I'm familiar with him, and I know he's been playing pro elves like a madman, so since they came out. So I think he'll probably win this. All right, that is all of the teams, and I did promise we would show the Halfling pitch clear, which was, I think, Group B. And the tree touchdown. So we're gonna look at that real quick. That is probably my favorite moment from this past week, not counting my own games, but obviously I'm a little biased there. Cherry bombs, that's the game. So we're gonna pull up this replay. And like I said, this was a game that was entertaining enough. I watched it in its entirety just in my spare time because I wanted to see how it happened. We're loading up now. We're going to fast forward till deep. It's in the second half that the pitch clear happens. So we're going to have to click forward a long ways. Are you also loading the replay, Fiction?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought about just watching it on the stream, but
with the delay, it
this is faster.
All right, so okay,
Oh,
so let me set this up. So to start the second half, there's a kickoff and a quick snap. So he's moving for his quick snap right now, and you can see where the ball is. And I told you he scored a tree touchdown. So you probably, those watching on the stream, will be able to tell what's about to happen. Ball goes out of bounds, and he hands it to a tree. So if you want to get on the same spot as me, Fiction, I'm pausing it right when the tree catches the throw in. I'm going to grab a glass of water. Let me know when you're at that point. Or I'll see if you are when I get back.
All right. The stream is mine. I have all the shit. www.banana.com.
All right, are you at the spot yet?
I am, good sir.
All right, go ahead and hit play, and we'll watch the beauty that is this tree scoring a touchdown second half. If there's any injury cutscenes or whatever, don't skip them. That way we'll stay on the same speed. Because otherwise one of us will end ahead of the other one. So this was an interesting game because there was injuries and there was also heat the whole time.
Yeah, I saw 4 of the elves at the end of the last half were out and just let the halflings walk it in.
Yes. Oh, there's a KO. And he's already burned his Apo by this point. I'm not sure if the. I'm not sure if he didn't have an Apo for the game. Yes, and then the fouling begins. Hit him with a ham.
Red die. I mean, that would be a fantastic play if he had split ball, but, you know, DD1000.
I do think he starts hitting the tree, though, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's got to do something. And you're not going to get better than a red die, really.
No.
Yeah, this is just such a helpless feeling for this Wood Elf coach. Once that tree has the ball, you're pretty much just hoping he roots at some point. He has to give the ball away. Because you're probably not knocking him down.
But even then, he's got 5 rerolls.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
Keeps walking.
He had a chef for this game, and the chef did that. He's running a 4 reroll halfling team, and the chef both halves stole 1 reroll. So.
Oh, there's one. Take root.
Oh, you must. Oh yeah.
I'm a little further. Yeah.
Yeah, you're ahead of me. You must have skipped through that KO.
I will pause.
Alright.
It's a reflex. I don't know.
No, it's okay. It's just yeah. So the tree just kicked the word answer where I'm at.
Okay.
And of course he's got to figure out how he's going to foul that word answer. I'm sure. Yep. Another removal.
Got him.
So just let that tick down, then we'll stay on the same spot.
A lot of love for the new it would be Pennywise the clown here.
Wait. Did we just lose a turn there? What happened? You're seeing the halflings move, right?
Yes.
Okay. Feels like the wood elf. I don't know. I think we lost him.
The tree
There's
just
a
kicked
dead.
the other guy and killed him. Yep. Nice.
There's a dead. And I believe that player ends up getting the MVP after the game, if I remember correctly.
The raggedy man.
Just push. Takes the 1 die. Injured halfling. And a stun.
With a lot of teams, as long as, you know, like your ball's secure and stuff, I think taking both downs is probably the good play.
1 from the Wood Elf. Reroll. Now, I don't know that I would have burned my only reroll on that dodge there, because that didn't do
Kind of
anything.
annoying through it ish. It's not even in range, actually.
I think that was a frustration reroll on that dodge, because there really wasn't a reason to do it. Unless you're thinking you're just trying. So at this point, he starts just basing to try and slow down the tree.
It doesn't have nearly enough players to screen, so he's kind of
yeah. It's just you
watching
can just
a train wreck.
yeah, you can feel this is literally like rubbernecking. This is like watching accident occurring on the highway, because there's just so little this Wood Elf coach can do against this tree just slowly walking up the field, murdering his team,
Killing everybody. As halflings, you feel pretty great about this, though.
Oh yeah.
This is like your perfect match.
Yeah, and just there's so many things that could have gone wrong there. Like he had to reroll that 3 die because it has to be a knockdown, pretty much, for that tree to keep moving. At least to move very far, because he's only getting 1 square if he has to just move to the side.
It doesn't want to risk the negative 3 die, obviously. Could roll triple pows.
They throw it, and then, yep, there it is. Tries the 3 red die, gets nothing for it. Not unsurprisingly.
Let's see, I have an app here. What are the odds?
I love that part there where he just runs the Wood Elf player down the field in a circle just because.
I think to only roll pows on a 3 die red.
Well, it'd be 3, 1, and 6s.
With the reroll.
It's what?
It says the direct roll is 0.5%.
Yeah, because it's a 1 in 216, I think.
Yep. It's
So it's less. Yeah. It's actually less than 0.5%.
So that's what you're looking at every time you come into a blodge tree.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, 1 in 216 is the odds on it. Tree continues to trundle down the field.
A 1 and 216 is actually even worse than that. It's 0.005%.
Yeah, Dapper says it's slightly different odds in this situation, though. He doesn't have to POW. He could do stumble or both down. So what are the chances of getting any of those results on a 3 red die?
Consult the math.
So it would be 50% 3 times, basically. And you have to get them on all 3.
Without a reroll, the app says 3.7%, but it's not perfect.
Yeah. But that sounds about right, though. Nope, just a stun, not a removal. Now this is a catcher marking the tree at this point, so he can block him with a halfling if he wants, which he does. Yeah, all 3 dot. Yeah, it'd be. No, it's got to be worse than a 1 and 8 because you have to get it on all 3 dice.
I think I looked up the reason I got this app in the first place was because I was curious if I had wrestle and strip ball, what are the odds of on a 2 red die getting the ball loose? So basically just not rolling a skull. I think it was 1 in 12.
What is that website? Is it Samba? Alright, here I've got the Samba app open. So if you have to roll those and it's a 3 red die block, add that in. Yeah, so it's actually not that bad. Yeah, it's 1 and 8 without a reroll. It's 12.5% without a reroll. It's 23.4% with a reroll.
It's not terrible, but obviously really bad.
Alright, so at this point he's down to 1 elf on the field.
Opposite of what I just said.
1 elf left.
Oh, he ran the scoring threat back.
Yeah, he ran the scoring threat back in because he realized he needed to just try and slow the tree down.
If you only have 1 player,
here's the pitch clear. Got him.
There it goes.
And that is how a halfling pitch cleared a wood elf and scored a tree touchdown all at the same time. And he doesn't even have to reroll to take root.
Which of the cheerleaders do you prefer, Jim? Because I often just forget to change it.
Honestly, I often just end up still having the humans, because I forget to change it as well. I guess if I had to pick a favorite, probably the orcs, just because they're the funniest. And I'll never.
Pervert.
I'm gonna quit the replay now. Mostly, I can't do the dwarves because I fucking hate dwarves on a personal level. And, yeah, and the humans we've just seen for so long. So I typically switch it to the orcs if I think about it. And I've been playing mostly goblins lately, so it's actually starting to get dark in my house. I will have to turn some lights on. Alright, that was our highlight of the week. That was halflings winning a game, pitch clearing some wood elves. And scoring a tree touchdown all at the same time. So you don't see that happen very often. There were a couple of highlights from my game, but I've already posted those on my channel, so if you want to see those, you can check those out, including my reactions to them. Fiction, you got anything else to add?
Twitch.tv/fiction with 2 C's.
Yep. There you go. And I've got his name listed at the top of the screen as my co-host. Check out his channel. If you are one of my regular viewers, I'm going to stream this evening after I go on a beer run. So, but thank you for joining us for the Twitch Blood Bowl League State of the League address. This will be the first of many. I am going to do one to talk about the Legendary Edition Invitational Tournament that we're going to be doing next month. That keeps getting put off because of them needing to do a bug fix to fix res format. Once we get our team submissions and we start actually getting all of that organized, I will be doing a State of the League talking about the tournament, talking about the coaches that were invited, all the leagues participating, all that kind of stuff. So stick around for that. If you are in the league, follow the channel. Any State of the Leagues or any major stream announcements, VODs, that kind of stuff, those will be done on this channel. I will host them from my channel. And all of this stuff gets put on the Twitch Blood Bowl YouTube by Ciramon. Yeah. They're in the channel. Or Seo, as he is in the Twitch Blood Bowl League, or in the Blood Bowl 2 actual client. Thank you for joining us, everybody. And have a good morning, afternoon, and night, wherever you are. Thank you for staying up late with us, Europeans.
Bye.